Jai Mata. Charanam Sharanam Ramambige. Charanam Sharanam Trayambage. As some of the governing body members were also leaving the same day, we were all called to Matanadam. Tara Devi and Dr. Pai talked to us in detail of what had passed during the last days. Just as Mother used to, Tara Devi served tea and sweets with the same loving care. She enjoined on us to always do our duty to carry on the mission's work. Soon the others left, but I lingered behind. She knew how close I had been to Mother. There was a great void in my heart, and though I managed to hide it from others, Taradevi knew about it. So lovingly she took me to the inner room, and as of old, brought me bread and butter, enjoining me to eat well and keep my body strong. She said that Mother had many messages to give during the last days, and she and her husband had always been at Mother's side, not wanting to miss even a whisper nor fail in their ministrations. She said, even on the last day, the burning hope lurked in the core of my heart that she would recover. There was nothing impossible for Devi. Often Mother held our hands with love beyond compare. She reminded Dr. Pai about his spiritual duties and assured him that if he turned to the spiritual path, tremendous power would come. He was in tears most of the time, and seeing him thus, Deva's hands would caress him lovingly. At times, declarations of her supreme nature as Parameshwari and Shiva came. She had warned me some days back I should not mistake Mahasamadhi as Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and those words were in my mind. At noon, she said no one should touch her for 2 hours. Though at that time we did not realize the significance, now we know that it was to gather the life force to Sahasrara, to leave the body at her will. Mother had also warned us that nobody should be allowed to touch the crown of her head. That evening, Mother gave me the Upadesha of the Charana Mantra. It was a most surprising and awesome event. Deva commanded Dr. Pai to perform the arati in the shrine chanting the mantra, and I saw her whispering the mantra to him in his ears. After he came back, he went up to Mother's pillow and sat down with tears in his eyes. They spoke in whispers. I was conscious only of Mother and of the approach of the inevitable. Later, Mother turned to me and whispered, Srinivas has finally given his promise that he will never leave the mission and will work for my cause. My work is done. For the last few months, Mother's concentrated efforts were directed towards Dr. Pai, and she was waiting for that promise. With Mother's words, the blinding truth burst upon me that the time had come for Deva to leave the body. With this realization, Mother pervaded my whole being to the exclusion of everything else. Time passed. Suddenly I felt I should go and have my bath and come back quickly. I had no consciousness apart from the Mother, and she was acting through me. In a few minutes the bath was over and I was by Deva's side. All my outer consciousness was merging and being drawn into a great void, and worldly consciousness was obliterated. As she spoke these words, Taradevi stopped speaking and lapsed into deep silence. I sat still and silent beside her. After some time I silently withdrew, not wanting to intrude. Later I learned that after that mystic merger, when Tara Devi came back to outer consciousness, Mother's eyes had turned upwards. She and Dr. Pai gave her a few drops of udaga, and Mother's eyes closed forever. 3 soft breaths came from Mother, which Tara Devi felt as an unutterable power entering her, and with the infusion of that infinite power, she once again was merged in Samadhi. From then on, we saw an indefinable mantle of spiritual poise and grandeur in Tara Devi. She was never more the familiar Taraka of old. We spontaneously revered her as the Guru. At the same time, her love and compassion and care reached out to all. She told me, "You have to move forward as Mother's heroic child. Her trust is in you. Mother's words are there, and nothing in the world can shake them. Trials and troubles will be there. Never forget the supreme aim which Mother has shown you and for which you have come to this world. Mother's protecting power will always be there. You have received the abundance of Mother's love. Remember, the body is evanescent, but never at any time forget the Mother's words or what Mother expects of you." In a flood of prema, she embraced me, and it was as if she took upon herself the sorrow that was burning in me. I returned to my flat sadness and despair soothed away. A new strength welled up in me to face a world and a future without Mother. On the 13th day after the Mahasamadhi, the rituals of Samaradhana were performed. After the sacred rituals by Purohits with Tara Devi and Dr. Pai presiding, the temple doors were thrown open. We could feel anew the living reality of Mother in the glorious Vigraha from Ambika. Thousands of her devotees were there, and to the ringing of bells, blowing of conches, and amidst Vedic mantras and the chanting of the Sharana mantra, Arati was performed. Food, rice, and clothes were distributed to the thousands of poor people who had gathered there. As the Mother had ordained, Tara Devi was declared the life president and spiritual preceptor of the Rama Shakti mission. A glorious new era had begun. Charanam Sharanam Ramambige, Charanam Sharanam Trayambage. Jai Mother.